How's it going, guys? So today I'm going to talk about fears of transitioning, like what I thought, what I was afraid about going on T before, and yeah. So my last video, I talked a little bit about um, not knowing if when I look like a man, if I'm actually going to feel like a man, like I'm going to feel my age, and I think the problem with that was before I just couldn't imagine what I would look like on T, what I would look like after a few years, and because of that, it was just weird. I was just kind of thinking about like being in another man's body and not having my mind aligned with that. But I mean, honestly, that hasn't been an issue. The more I change, the more I feel like myself, the more masculine I feel, the more I feel like a guy. And before T, you don't feel as much as a guy because you don't have testosterone, and you have female attributes, female features to your body, so you're not going to feel completely male. So I think T has helped me a lot with that. And then I was afraid of lower stuff changing. I don't know. I didn't know if I was going to like the changes or not, which honestly nothing's really changed yet, so I guess we'll see if that changes later, because I mean there's plenty of time for that to happen. I don't know if I'm the only one with that or what. Next thing is, well, I'm kind of a pretty boy, so I didn't want to lose my soft features. I didn't want to get acne or have a ton of hair. And losing the soft features I don't care about anymore, because now I look more masculine because of that. My face doesn't look as smooth and as feminine as before, and also like I don't have that much hair, and you can shave whatever you want. So the only thing I'm afraid about with hair is the opposite thing, where I'm afraid of going bald, afraid of losing my hair, because I love my hair, and yeah, I shaved it. I got a buzz cut. Oh, you guys haven't seen this, I don't think. But I'm really afraid of going bald and not having like any hair, having hair, no hair on top. So that's kind of scary. I also was afraid about socializing as a guy. How to have to adjust to that, and I didn't know how people were going to treat me, or if I was going to sound natural. Some guys looking at me like, what the hell are you talking to? Yeah. I didn't know if I was going to, how easy it'd be to adjust to being treated as a guy, and to be treated as a heterosexual white male. It's definitely different. People don't stare at me anymore. Which is awesome, because I used to get stared at all the time, like every day, all day. Walking to class, everyone would fucking stare at me, and it would piss me off. And people are so much nicer to me now, and they're more likely to say hi to me and get to know me than they were before. And part of that might be my confidence increasing, and so I'm a little bit friendlier. But I think it's also just because when I looked like a lesbian, people weren't as comfortable with it, and they just didn't. I don't know how to explain that. You have to ask them. Next thing is, I didn't want to be looked at like a guy who exploits girls. I didn't want girls to be afraid of me. I didn't want them to think that I was always trying to hit on them, and I didn't want it to change. Like, I like being friends with girls. I have girlfriends, and I didn't want girls to not want to be friends with me because I was a guy. And since starting T, I don't know, I've really haven't made that many friends. It's just people who I knew before that I became closer friends with, maybe. Made one friend, but she's gay, so I mean, it's not a straight girl. But really, people accept me as a guy. They don't think anything else of it. And also, I didn't want to be seen as like a gay guy, a feminine guy, which I don't think anyone thinks I am, unless we go to LGBT things, which they automatically assume he has to be bi or gay, right? Or some people just have no idea why the hell I'm there because they're like, you're straight, so what are you doing? And you know, it's the whole thing where the T totally gets left out of LGBT. And so that's another fear of mine, was losing that queer identity. Sometimes I say I'm queer. I mean, queer as in, like, I'm pretty masculine. So in terms of gender, I don't really identify as queer so much. But you know, being born a girl and being a lesbian for a while, quote unquote, I call myself gay. But you know, that definitely changes you. That definitely gives you a different outlook on things, and I don't know. I feel like I'm still part of the queer community. Let's see. So I was worried about money and paying for everything, which my parents have helped me with that stuff. They fronted me money for surgery so I could get it instead of waiting a few years or who knows when until I could save enough money to get it. So that's awesome. And they do help me pay for testosterone, and they help me pay for therapy, but I don't go to therapy anymore because I don't need it, honestly. Next thing is temper. I've heard some guys say, you know, being on T, their temper was shorter, you know, they got angrier easier, more aggressive, but that hasn't happened to me. So everyone's different, you know. Don't expect all those things to happen to you, because my mood hasn't changed at all. Like, I'm a happier person because I like my body more. People treat me the way I want to be treated, and so I get angry and sad less. Let me make sure I have enough time. Let's see. 7 minutes. Alright, it's out time. Finding a girlfriend. I did find a girlfriend before I got on T. It was pretty much right after I came out to everyone. And she already knew I was trans, so I didn't have to tell her anything. But now that I passed one bit of time, I'm worried about finding a girlfriend and talking to girls. And you know, basically right now I'm trying to stick to bisexual girls because that's easy. Like, I know most of them won't care. Maybe some of them will, but if they do, then fuck them. And same goes for straight girls. Like, I mean, if they don't like who you are, then you're not meant to be with them anyway. But yeah, it's gonna suck being rejected just because of how I was born. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. I was worried about my friends being friends with girls. Our relationship would change, but that hasn't happened either. You know, my friends treat me the same way they did before, more like a guy, but it hasn't really changed our friendship. If anything, it strengthened it. But I was thinking maybe they wouldn't want to hang out with me alone because if they had a boyfriend or something, which hasn't happened yet, maybe it will later, I don't know. And also, it's hard adjusting. Like, I don't exactly know how to make friends with guys. My roommate is a straight guy, and we're friends, but I mean, we're roommates, so I didn't have to, like, ask him to hang out with me, really. Like, we've gone to the gym, and we've partied together, but with other guys, I don't know how to, like, make guy friends for my classes, or from sports teams or something. I mean, I guess I usually make friends through other friends, drinking or hang out, whatever. And I know how to make friends with girls easily, but it's the whole thing with guys. They're different. They socialize differently, and I feel like you either ask a bunch of guys to hang out. You don't really like hang out with one guy at once unless you're going to work out or maybe getting lunch, something like that. But I mean, the majority of my friends are girls. I wish I had more guy friends, but I don't. I have a few. More at home than I do at school. Next thing, I was afraid I was going to smell bad because, you know, your odor does change. But I don't really smell that bad. Maybe that's going to get worse. I don't know. Hopefully not. But that's been fine. I think my scent has changed a little bit, though.